My name is Mason Drastal, and welcome to my session. Today, we're going to be exploring how to excel at work and life using a secret key that will help unlock your most productive self. But before we begin, I'd like to introduce myself a bit further. During the day, I work as a senior manager in business transformation at Dentsu Creative, a global creative network transforming brands and businesses through the power of modern creativity. I've been working in operations and project management for over a decade. I started using ClickUp in 2019 and am a part of ClickUp's verified VIP program. I'm a proud member of the LGBTQIA+ community and am neurodivergent with ADHD. Outside of the office, I'm a modern-day Renaissance man with numerous personal passions, including advocacy and entrepreneurship. Now, let's discuss how you can level up your productivity. Let's face it, the workload demands we face these days are challenging. We find ourselves presented with numerous tasks, projects, and other responsibilities that seemingly continue on into infinity. We live in the age where we're connected to the world at our fingertips 24/7 with a variety of devices which all compete vigorously for our attention at the same time with emails, direct messages, text, calls, and all sorts of other content and communications. And when we add in our team to the picture, we can end up looking like a juggling act auditioning to win television's premier talent competition. And let's not forget about all the work and responsibilities we have at the home after clocking out. Caretaking, cleaning, cooking, repairing, running errands, making time to see family and friends, trying to practice self-care to unwind from the workday. The list goes on and on. Leading such busy lives day after day, we can end up feeling confusion, anxiety, depression, decision fatigue, work paralysis, and even burnout. So what solutions exist that can help us manage such intense workloads? Well, the secret key is a prioritization system. A prioritization system is essential for success because there is a limited amount of time, energy, and resources available to us each day to address our needs. It creates a clear organizational ranking of projects and tasks that provides a roadmap of what is most important to complete first, strategic alignment with goals and values, improved resource and time allocations, and a higher return on investment due to increased efficiency. Now, here is an exceptionally important takeaway. When everything is an urgent priority, nothing actually gets prioritized. This leads to disjointed projects, missed deadlines, frustrated clients, and extra work for you and your team. Let's look at some different systems and strategies we can use to help better prioritize our work. First off, the value of systems cannot be overstated. As James Clear writes in his New York Times best-selling book, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Goals are good for planning your progress, and systems are good for actually making progress. Goals can provide direction and even push you forward in the short term, but eventually, a well-designed system will always win. Having a system is what matters. Committing to the process is what makes the difference. Now let's go over some of the most common variables used within different prioritization systems. This includes things such as importance, urgency, difficulty or effort required, amount of time, impact both positive and negative, financial cost, confidence, opportunity, the type of work, customer satisfaction, implementation timing, different dependencies, such as your work is preventing another teammate from completing their work, and resource availability or workload. Now, there are four main types of prioritization systems: categorization, matrix, workflow, and calculation. Categorization systems analyze a task based on its classification within a specific framework. Some examples of this include the Eat the Frog method, which sorts by difficulty and completes the hardest task first, the ABCDE method, which has 3 levels of importance and 2 actions to take, the Kano model, which uses 5 levels of customer satisfaction, and the story method, which groups by category and ranks by importance. Using the ABCDE method, tasks are classified into one of 5 categories. A, which represents the 3 highest priorities, B, which is medium priorities, C, which is the lowest priorities, D, for tasks to delegate to others, and E, which is for tasks to eliminate. If you have difficulty determining how a task should be classified, then you can try using a matrix. Matrix systems analyze a task based on its correlation to 2 specific variables. Some examples of this include the Eisenhower matrix, which measures urgency versus importance, and the priority matrix, which measures effort versus impact. Using the Eisenhower matrix, tasks fall into one of 4 quadrants with a corresponding action based on their importance and urgency. If it's very urgent and very important, then you do the task. If it's very urgent and not important, then you should delegate the task. If it's not urgent and very important, then schedule the task for later. And finally, if it's not urgent and not important, then delete the task. Workflow systems analyze a task based on responses to a set of predetermined questions with corresponding actions. This includes the Getting Things Done, or GTD for short, decision tree. Using the GTD workflow, tasks are analyzed based on the answers to 4 questions and are ultimately resolved using the action associated with the selected answers. These questions include what the input is, if it's actionable, if the next step requires more than a single step, and if the next action requires less than 2 minutes to complete. Calculation systems analyze a task based on a formula of variables with assigned numerical values. Some examples of this include the RICE method, which uses reach, impact, confidence, and effort, opportunity scoring, which uses user importance and user satisfaction, and cost of delay, which uses economic value and time delayed. Using the RICE method, tasks are analyzed based on 4 variables that each have a numerical value. These include reach, which measures how many people will be affected within the time period, impact, which measures how much impact it will create, confidence, which measures how confident we are about the actual scores for reach and impact, and effort, which measures how much time is needed to be invested by the team. Once you have the 4 numerical values for these, you enter them into the formula: reach times impact times confidence, all divided by effort, which gives us the final RICE score. It's also important not to ignore the system you use for time management to complete your prioritized work. Research and experiment with different time management techniques and systems to find out which one works best for you. Start your day with reviewing and updating your priorities as needed, and then make a plan of what's the best way to utilize your time to structure your day. And don't forget, you can also integrate your calendar with ClickUp for even greater command of your schedule. Now, let's cover the suggested steps to implement a prioritization system. The first step is to invest time upfront to align your operations. As the famous saying goes, give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. Identify what goals you are working towards and what is needed to achieve them, and any limitations or obstacles to overcome. Standardize, document, and teach standard operating procedures, or SOPs, to your team. Strategize how you should develop your ClickUp workspace so that it can meet both your current and future needs. And don't forget, templates are amazing. They make work easier, faster, consistent, and scalable. Second, document all projects, tasks, and milestones. Perform a brain dump of all your outstanding work and provide as much detailed information as possible. Use ClickUp and treat it as a single source of truth for project information and to wayfind to your other required tools. Always keep things out of the ether and in ClickUp so they don't get forgotten as a best practice. And as a wise wizard once said, it becomes easier to spot patterns and links, you understand, when they're in this form. The third step is to implement the prioritization system. Identify the most important prioritization variables for your work and which system to utilize. Understand that one size doesn't always fit all. Different projects and teams may require using different prioritization systems. Monitor the status of everyone's priorities in ClickUp by creating custom fields, views, and dashboards. Don't forget, you can also utilize automations by ClickUp and third parties to save extra time. The fourth step is to adapt based on new information and feedback. Michael Scott was right about one thing. A fundamental rule of business is being able to adapt to different situations. Be vigilant for unforeseen curveballs or changes in the required work to complete the project and how it impacts what should be prioritized. And always be open to feedback from your team on the prioritization system and adapt it accordingly. These prioritization systems and strategies don't just apply to the office. They can also be used in our daily lives as well. Here are some of the personal ways anyone can use ClickUp to help them stay on top of their priorities and productivity. Managing personal tasks, projects, and commitments, managing shared household chores and schedules, creating itineraries for events and travel, tracking fitness goals, workouts, and performance, listing books to read, movies to watch, or music to listen to, creating, collecting, and organizing, as well as rating recipes, inventorying items when moving into a new home. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Now, I'd like to share with you a very special example from my own life of how I was able to fuel my personal passions using ClickUp and prioritization systems. In 2020, I became the founder and managing director of Skinny Alice Pride, a community organization in my hometown that supports and advocates for the town's LGBTQIA+ residents, visitors, and allies. I moved back to New York State in the summer of 2021 after living on the West Coast for several years. Last April, I made the spontaneous decision that it was time for the town to host its first ever Pride event and that I would commit to leading the effort. There were many obstacles to overcome, with the largest being a timeframe of less than 2 months to plan the event. Time was certainly a precious commodity, and there was not a lot of it to waste. By using prioritization systems, I was able to identify the largest opportunities and maximize the impact of what little time we had to execute this event. I turned to ClickUp to be the organizational backbone for tracking all the different work streams happening simultaneously, and it proved to be absolutely vital. Furthermore, I found unconventional ways to use some of the tool's features, like using a publicly shared ClickUp doc as the event's webpage, so that I could avoid going through all the steps of developing a website, as well as being able to quickly and easily update event information on the fly. And thanks to the support of the incredible local businesses and community members, the 3-day event turned out to be a major success, and we were able to create history in this beautiful lakeside town nestled in central New York. In summary, using a prioritization system is key. Identify the variables that matter most. Select the best system for your needs. Utilize ClickUp to manage and track your team's priorities, and make sure to adapt the system as necessary. And last, explore ways to leverage prioritization with your own personal projects and passions. And as a special added bonus, I've created a ClickUp template with prioritization systems for everyone to use. You can download it now by visiting the LevelUp speaker template library. Thanks so much for watching this session. Once again, my name is Mason Drastal, and I hope you have a wonderfully productive day.